This is your required general security training for the upcoming 2018 testing season. As always, this training does not replace your obligation to attend test administration training or the reading of appropriate manuals. Everything you need to meet the annual requirement is right here on this page. After this video, you'll successfully complete a short quiz, print, initial, and sign the appropriate 2018 General Security Oath, and submit that signed oath to Elaine Fancher. TEA requires this annual security update of all staff members that could come into contact with secure testing materials at any time. Maintaining the security and confidentiality of the Texas Student Assessment Program is critical for ensuring valid test scores and providing standard and equal testing opportunities for all students. Maintaining test security is the responsibility of all testing personnel. All personnel must be trained and sign an oath before handling any testing materials. Secure materials must be monitored or locked in a secure location at all times before, during, and after testing, meaning you'll never inappropriately view, duplicate, or electronically capture, discuss, score, discard, or misplace a test or any secure document. Never review, discuss, or alter student responses, and meaning you'll protect the contents of all secure test materials and content, as well as students' personal information and responses. Secure testing materials could include student answer documents, test booklets, online test content and test tickets, reference charts, graph paper and scratch paper, TELPAS calibration activities, STAR Alt2 images, testing documents such as attendance, seating charts, material control forms, and accommodation materials. When in doubt, treat all testing materials as though they were secure. All testing materials must be inventoried, scanned, and remain secure in limited access, locked storage. Testing materials are then prepared, scanned, and assigned to test administrators, who must verify and sign for those materials the morning of testing. Test administrators will then ensure the security and confidentiality of those materials at all times. All testing materials are returned at check-in. All documents and material control forms must be completed accurately, signed, and returned with materials. All testing documents must be retained and securely stored for 5 years. All personnel who may come into contact with testing, testers, or assist in the administration of state assessments in any way must be trained and sign a security oath. In order to maintain a secure testing environment, all communication and electronic devices must be off, collected, and secured. All instructional displays in classrooms and hallways that could provide direct source of answers must be covered or removed. Before administering a test, be sure to collect and secure all cell phones and electronic devices. Confirm each student has his or her own answer document or online testing ticket. Verify students have access to allowable testing materials only. Once a student has completed testing, the test administrator must collect their testing materials. Students may read quietly once testing materials have been collected. Be sure to maintain the testing environment while other students continue testing. Certain accommodations, such as an oral administration, may require a test administrator to view a secure state assessment. All security measures outlined in the STAR Test Administrator Manuals or Oral Administration Guide must be followed. Test administrators who have permission to view secure materials must be trained and reminded they are viewing secure content. Regardless of the accommodation, test administrators may not respond to test questions, make notes about test questions, or discuss the content. They must not rephrase, clarify, or interpret any test content. Unauthorized verbal and nonverbal assistance may not be provided to students. TEL-PAS rating, training, calibration activities must be completed independently and in a monitored environment. Separate TEL-PAS oaths specific to each testing role will be signed separately. Raters must complete calibration activities before holistically rating any students. Unallowable assistance during calibration is considered a serious testing irregularity. An irregularity is any conduct or incident that deviates from documented testing procedures. TEA views irregularities in two categories: serious and procedural. TEA considers serious irregularities deliberate or intentional. They constitute severe violations of test security. They must be investigated by the district testing coordinator immediately and require TEA contact. They can result in an individual being referred to the Educator Certification and Standards Division. Serious irregularities could include changing or altering an examinee's response, providing, suggesting, or indicating a test question response, aiding or assisting an examinee, identifying incorrect responses for an examinee, falsifying TEL-PAS holistic ratings or STAR ALT2 student responses. Scoring student tests either formally or informally, duplicating, recording, or electronically capturing confidential test content, viewing a test before, during, or after an assessment unless specifically authorized to do so, disclosing the contents of any portion of a secure test. Encouraging or assisting an individual in such conduct or failing to report such conduct are also considered serious irregularities. Please take a moment to review these procedures and practices that will help you avoid serious irregularities. Procedural irregularities are clerical, accidental, or just human error. They reflect minor errors that do not represent severe breaches in security or confidentiality. They require local documentation in order to create a plan of action. Procedural irregularities are typically accidents that can be easily avoided. Please take a few minutes to review these simple testing procedures and practices that can help avoid big headaches. As you can see, most irregularities reported to TEA involve accommodations, monitoring, and procedural errors. So attend training, use your checklist, and be sure to always ask questions when unsure. Serious violations of security or confidentiality may result in a student's test not being scored, placement of restriction on the issuance, renewal, or holding of a Texas teacher certificate, issuance of an inscribed or non-inscribed reprimand, suspension of a Texas teacher certificate for a set term, or revocation or cancellation of a Texas teacher certificate. Release or disclosure of confidential test content is a Class C misdemeanor and could result in criminal prosecution. The State Board of Educator certification may take any of the above actions based on satisfactory evidence that an educator has failed to cooperate with TEA in an investigation. All staff members are required to report any testing error or incident immediately. Test administrators or relief should notify the area monitor. Area monitors will contact the campus testing coordinator. All staff members involved in or observing a possible testing irregularity of any type may be asked to complete a local statement form. This does not necessarily indicate an irregularity has occurred. The campus testing coordinator must promptly investigate any suspected irregularity. Most errors, when reported immediately, can be corrected without affecting a student's test. When an irregularity has occurred, the CTC must complete incident reports, develop a plan of action to prevent the reoccurrence of the incident, and submit all documentation to the assessment office. All incidents involving alleged or suspected serious irregularities must be reported to the district testing coordinator and TEA immediately and will require additional documentation. TEA considers it a serious violation if a student photographs or duplicates secure test content or disseminates this information using an electronic device. Actively monitor and report any electronic devices to your campus testing coordinator immediately. If a student is involved in a cheating incident, the campus is required to invalidate the student's test. Actively monitor at all times and ensure students are spaced appropriately. Contact your area monitor and CTC immediately if you suspect student cheating. TEA permission must be obtained before inspecting student tests. Remember to report errors or suspected violations immediately so they can be corrected before affecting a student's test. Be sure to ask questions if you are unsure. Contact your area monitor or campus testing coordinator immediately if you have any questions or concerns. And remember, most incidents can be corrected without affecting student scores when reported and corrected quickly. Here is a quick look at the upcoming spring state assessment dates and their expected reporting time. Remember that all Robert E. Lee testing and training dates can be found on the Staff Assessment Calendar, which is located on the REL Staff Resources page. Testing dates, information, and additional resources can also be found on the Robert E. Lee Assessment page. Manuals and additional resources for the Student Assessment Program are always posted on the TEA website for reference. You're almost finished. Use the link below to successfully complete the short quiz, print, initial, and sign the appropriate 2018 General Security Oath, and submit that oath to Eleni Fancher in order to complete your 2018 General Security training.